Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video I discussed about the Indian National Congress, about the theories regarding the establishment of Congress, the extremist and the moderate group, and about the causes of the rise of extremists. In the last I have also discussed about the Bengal Partition which happened in 1905. In this video I am going to proceed further and going to discuss about the divide and the rule politics of British, or we can say the aggressive policy of British in 20th century. Next I am going to discuss about the partition of Bengal in detail, about the different approach by the extremist and moderate which lead to the Surat Split in 1907, or we can say the Congress split. Next is the establishment of Muslim League, its causes, and about the Lucknow session 1916 of Congress. So what are we waiting for? Let's start the video and understand the divide and the rule politics of British. We are going to discuss about Lord Curzon, Lord Minto II and the Lord Hardinge, who were aggressive politics players. Let us first know the sequence of incidents from the year 1903 to 1912. In 1903, Lord Curzon revealed the partition plan. In 1905, Curzon resigned because of the Curzon-Kitchener controversy. In 1905, Lord Minto came as the Viceroy. On 16 October 1905, partition's plan was implemented. In 1906, Muslim League was established. 1907, division of Indian National Congress, which is also known as Surat Split. 1909, Parliamentary reform happened. 1911, Delhi Darbar took place. In 1912, capital of India from Calcutta to Delhi happened. Now let us discuss about the partition of Bengal 1905. 16th October 1905, partition of Bengal was implemented. Bengal was nerve center of nationalism. All the ideology of national movement, moderate extremists and revolutionists came out of Bengal and spreaded in different parts of India. Curzon wanted to divide Bengal in order to subside rising nationalism. He wanted to create a social division on the basis of minority consciousness. Social and economic crisis will subside Bengal from all directions. The design of Curzon was very much exposed in the conversation in between British Home Secretary Risley and Curzon. Risley said, "Bengal united is a power. Bengal divided will pull Bengal in several different ways." However, officially Curzon said that Bengal is a large state. So, in order to have better administrative manageability, there is need of partition of Bengal. With this we have understand that the true intention was the division, or we can say the true intention of British behind the Bengal division, and how they hide it in the name of administrative convenience. But in the year 1905, Curzon had to resign because of Curzon-Kitchener controversy. And this was a controversy where about the role of military commander in the Viceroy's Executive Council was, and the resignation of Curzon was shock to the policy of divide and rule. His policy of partition of Bengal was opposed by many Indian nationalists. The anti-partition movement was led by Rabindranath Tagore. He created the cultural song of Bengal, Amar Sonar Bangla, and started celebrating Raksha Bandhan Divas, in which Hindus were tying knot in the hand of Muslims and the Muslims were tying knot on the hands of the Hindus. It was unbreakable bond between Hindus and the Muslims. Next aspect is the approach of Congress moderate leaders. They said partition of Bengal is the local issue. Therefore, the boycott movement should be confined only to Bengal. Secondly, the boycott should be boycott of goods only. But extremists demanded all India boycott movement along with the boycott of services also. Finally, a compromise formula was prepared in which boycott movement was started in Bengal, and its first time Congress passed resolution criticizing the policy of Viceroy Lord Curzon. In 1906, Calcutta session of Congress, extremists demanded Bal Gangadhar Tilak or Lala Lajpat Rai as the president of Congress. They demanded resolution on Swaraj, whereas moderate, they were in favor of Dadabhai Nauroji for the president post for this session. Finally, a compromise formula was achieved in which Dadabhai Nauroji became the president of Congress and four resolutions were passed. First was Swaraj, second was Swadeshi, third was national education, and last one was boycott. Anti-partition movement was mixed with the Swadeshi movement, and Swadeshi movement was all-comprehensive movement which saved the future politics of India. It started the politics of self-reliance, which was carried forward by Gandhi till independence. Akshay Kumar Dutt, Surendranath Banerjee were the main leaders of Swadeshi movement. They started publication of magazine Sanjeevani to highlight the Swadeshi movement. In 1911, British King George V visited India and Delhi Darbar was organized. The king announced three important declarations. First, the decision of partition of Bengal was taken back. Second, Bihar was separated from Bengal. Third and the last was the capital of India shifted from Calcutta to Delhi. Now let us understand about the Surat Split, or we can say the division in Indian National Congress. Both the moderate and extremists had difference in opinion, approach, objective, and the support base in the Indian national movement. The culmination of their differences reached to its climax in Surat, where extremists were expelled from activities of Congress. In the year 1907, Surat Session President Ras Bihari Ghosh presented the resolution to take back all the resolution of Calcutta. In fact, British reached moderate and assured major reform in the council. However, extremists were not agreed with the reform and agreed to pass the timeline regarding the Swaraj. The session of Surat created huge chaos. Therefore, President Ras Bihari Ghosh expelled extremists from the activities of Congress, and this is known as Surat Split. Lala Lajpat Rai was expelled from Punjab, so he went to America and devoted himself in philosophy and writing biography of Mazzini, Garibaldi, Shivaji and Lord Krishna. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was imprisoned for 6 years in Mandalay jail, Burma. Bipin Chandrapal accepted the moderate principle. So we can understand Lal Bal Pal was separated. However, the Surat Split was not a real split, but ideological difference between moderate and extremist. Extremists did not form separate organization. In 1916, after a long 9 years, after little modification from both sides, extremists re-entered in Congress in Lucknow session. Now let us throw some light on the establishment of Muslim League. Muslim League was established in 1906 by Nawab Salimullah of Dhaka. Its first president was Aga Khan III. Its headquarters was at Lucknow. The objective behind it, to generate mental, moral, political and social awareness among the Muslims and to stop Muslim participation in Congress. Thirdly, to consolidate relation between British and Muslims. After understanding the objective, let us understand about the causes of the establishment of Muslim League. First was that after the establishment of Indian National Congress in 1885, many leaders and the followers of Aligarh movement started developing the political consciousness for the Muslims in order to reject the political dominance of Hindus. During the partition of Bengal, the Swadeshi movement, many symbolic Hindu religious icons were used. Therefore, Muslims did not participate in Swadeshi movement. Third reason was the Secretary of State Morley in his budget speech announced separate budget for the social and economic development of Muslims. So Muslim leaders wanted to avail this opportunity. Fourth reason was the immediate reason, and that was Muslim League was that they want Hindi and Urdu controversy. Muslim leaders wanted Urdu in Persian script as the official language of India, and leader of Congress demanded Hindi in Devanagari script. Initially, there was no difference between leaders of Congress and Muslim League. They can simultaneously join both. They can become the members of Congress as well as Muslim League. Muslim League demanded separate electorates for Muslims, which was granted in Government of India Act 1909 under the Marley-Minto reform. Marley was Secretary of State and Minto was Viceroy. This is considered as the seeds of Pakistan. British government was very much aware about the dangerous consequence of separate electorates, which was reflected in the conversation between Morley and Minto, in which they said, by granting separate electorate, we are sowing the dragon's teeth, harvest of which will be very bitter. And this is called the seeds of Pakistan. Now let us understand the sequence of incidents between 1914 to 1919. In the year 1914, Tilak was released from the jail and Annie Besant joined Congress. In 1915, Gokhale and Mehta died. In 1916, three incidents happened. First, in the April 1916, Tilak started Home Rule League movement. In September, Annie Besant started Home Rule League movement. In December, Lucknow session of Indian National Congress took place. In 1917, Montague reformed and Annie Besant became President of Congress. She was the first lady to become the President of Congress. In 1918, Indian Liberal Federation was created by S.N. Banerjee. In 1919, Government of India Act was passed. Now I am going to proceed to my last topic for this video, which is the Lucknow session of Indian National Congress 1916. Lucknow session was a historic session presided by Ambika Chand Majumdar. It is known as the Congress of Two Reunion. First was the Congress plus Muslim League. Second was the Moderate plus Extremist. The unification between Congress and Muslim League was due to the effort of Tilak and Jinnah. Tilak was the first person to realize the unity of Hindus and Muslims to start the mass movement. The Lucknow Pact between Congress and Muslim League was ideological compromise on the issue of separate electorates. Muslim League used the platform of Congress to spread the influence among the Muslim middle class. The unification of moderate and extremist was mainly due to three factors. First, the support of Annie Besant. She was the main leader of Congress after the Surat Split. She wanted to revive the Indian National Congress and in favor of amicable settlement of Indian national movement. Second was the death of Gokhale and Firoz Shah Mehta in 1915. They were the main opposer of the extremists. They were not ready to involve extremists again in the Congress. Next, the moderation in the voice of Tilak. Tilak, during the Home Rule League movement, said, "Swaraj is my birthright, and I shall have it." He defined the meaning of Swaraj, in which he said, "Swaraj means within the British Empire and not independent of it." With this, we have understood the Bengal division, the cruel politics of British, about the differences in opinion of moderate and extremists which lead to the Surat Split in 1907, and how Congress, moderate and extremists again came together in 1916 in Lucknow session. We have also developed an idea about the creation of Muslim League, what were the causes behind it, and what was the objective. With this, I am concluding my video. If you find the content interesting, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you.